one way to maybe proceed the attack, which is rook h7. So the idea is to double and then play g5, because if I try g5 here immediately, I think he can just gobble. He can just gobble with knight takes h5. Although maybe this is better than the game, even if he does gobble. So say rook h7 g4. It's as though white's locked up. So knight h4, queen d3. The other rook joins in. Is there a potential for positional sacrifice for rook takes h5? That's the question. Let's say knight goes to g3. White's got a clear advantage. There's a reinforced concrete around white's king. So this is hardly a dynamic attack. I really don't. I can't believe that there's possibilities here. Maybe one way, if white slips up, maybe f5 takes bishop d6. Again, you know, bishop g5. It's not easy. So I had to be careful. So I had to rearrange my rooks very slowly. And in the meantime, of course, white's strategic break with c4 is showing its ugly head soon. But first he gets rid of my best piece, this knight on f5, by this reshuffling, the bishop going back just to support knight e3 takes f5. So it's all starting to backfire on me gradually. So first I lose my best piece, then he reinforces his king a bit by playing h4 followed by king h2. My rook is also tactically a liability on g4. After knight h3, there's potential. Well, he could have won on the spot. If this is actually the game score, which I believe it is, he missed a clear win on the spot, according to Ribka. Very soon. Actually, no, it's not here. It's when the rook can't move back that there's going to be a tactical nasty. So bishop g5, and I should have really taken and played f4. So bishop takes. Maybe this is my best chance to play f4 to try and weaken the king a bit. So my advantage is only disadvantage is only minimal. But no, I retreat the bishop to f8 because I don't know, I was thinking to keep the support of b4. There's a tactical win on the spot he missed. And there's a big clue with the arrows there actually. So it's actually queen d3. Because if I have to do something this night, then f3, and where is my rook going? Well, he missed that. He was in time pressure by this stage. Rook move 29, time controls at move 40. He played just knight f4. So I played bishop e7. Sorry, knight c7. And the idea, actually, of one of the ideas of b4, as well as to undermine d4, you see, it had some good ideas behind it to undermine d4. And if takes, there was knight c7 to b5 with a blockade in front of the doubled pawns. But you know, I was still hoping he'd take, actually. When I played knight c7 here, so knight f4, knight c7, he didn't take, though. He used his strategic break finally. He's been preparing it gradually. c4. And so I'm a victim now of this because of this c4, because he can just double up rooks. He can have the option to do cd at any point then. And this pawn could also be dislocated with things like rook a4 coming in handy, if even he decides c5 instead. So I'm worse, and my position just deteriorates now. After the bishop exchange, preparing to double up rooks, I panic a little as well, loosening my position still further. And he's now got the potential for d5, as well as this horrible, miserable pawn, which at the moment I thought would be good bait, because you know, rook takes f4 on queen h4 if he takes it immediately. Sorry, oh, d5, rook c4, bc4. Sorry, if I played knight a6, it will be good bait. In fact, does that work? Queen takes, yeah, rook takes f4. It's still better for white, even in this continuation. It just shows, you know, black positions not that good. The tactics just, even these tactics don't work out that well. But this would be better than the game continuation. Anyway, he didn't do that. There's no need for him to do that. After bc4, bc4, I actually play a panicky move here, though. So rook c2, sorry, d takes c4, bc4. So perhaps I should have played knight a6 to try and tempt rook c6. I play a terrible move, which gives white a clear, decisive advantage. I wonder if you can spot it. The clue's in this diagonal. If I give you 5 seconds, can you spot white's next move? Okay, white just plays a6, and I'm threatened with mate, and it's not easy to parry. If knight a8, you can just take here. I'm getting done in, because then rook a5 to b5, etc. So it's hopeless here, and I'm getting completely murdered. My king, I try and make a run for it, but I'm losing material now. I let that knight go. I'm just a knight down. And I just test if he's going to go into an ending here. If he played queen e4, I might have taken queens off and carried on with rook a6. But he just plays rook e4, and I resign. So perhaps some strategic complacency crept in, that there was a strategic pawn break available to the opponent. So the question is, how can you label the opponent as being positionally, strategically crushed, if they still can influence the slow factors of the position with a positional pawn break? If that exists and you haven't clamped it down, then the job isn't done. If you've stuffed all their counterplay, stuffed all their pawn breaks, then the job's more likely to be done. But there might be other things. So this complacency shouldn't really creep in when they've got a strategic pawn break. I didn't realise the significance of this structure with this knight b3 until now so vividly by this game, that by black not playing c5 and taking d4, this pawn's not fixed. So it becomes the basis for a very powerful break later with c4, as this game demonstrates, kind of vividly actually, with the black king on the queen side as a little test of the effectiveness of this break. So it's slowly preparing it with b3. And then gets rid of my best piece first of all, stage 1. Stage 2, seal up the king side to make sure there's no counterplay there, whilst waiting for me to loosen myself a bit as well. And the final stage with the c4, starting to rip open the lines, and my position just falls to bits as well with a6. So I think a highly instructive game. It's just a shame I was on the receiving end. So I lost my last two games against IMs. However, fantastic tournament. I played 5 IMs in total, 2 FMs and 2 untitled. My performance rating was about 2250, which is higher than my current rating, which is 2150. So I'm pleased overall, and some instructive stuff here, which maybe in the future can help me win or not lose so many games. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.